Hey, everybody. Welcome to Babbling Bullshit. This is going to be our first Star Wars episode. My name is Will. That over there is Lilith.
Hi.
You're so weird.
Are you just now figuring that out?
God, no.
After 15 years?
God, no. That's why I started talking to you in the first place.
Fair enough.
You're strange.
I am very strange. It's true.
But this is our first Star Wars episode. We figured, given that all the series have kind of wrapped up for the time being, there will be an Ahsoka season 2.
Thank God.
Because if there's not, well, people are going to riot.
Just me. I alone will riot.
I'm just picturing you like charging at Disney headquarters with a bat.
Motherfuckers!
But we figured we would do a recap of Ahsoka, and we'll dive into other series and characters as well. But first one, most recent one, was Ahsoka.
Yeah.
First of all, we've of course seen all of it.
Yes.
Yeah, but we're going to do these in incremental chunks. Because holy shit, there's a lot.
A lot happened in 8 episodes.
Oh my God.
Wow.
A lot happened in the first 2 episodes.
That's true.
Which, okay, yes, episode 1 was kind of like the longest cold open in the history of TV.
It kind of was.
Because like nothing
fully happened.
Yeah, they had so much to set up.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, I'm like, okay, cool. So where's the story? We'll get to it, I'm sure.
The story is coming.
Yeah. But we did get... We'll just start at the beginning of the episode and move our way through it.
Yeah. Might as well.
Balin and Shin Hati at the beginning. Okay, yeah. Whoever taught them how to play Jedi fucking nailed it.
Right?
And yeah, difference between Sith and Dark Jedi. Like, yes, they are not Sith.
No, they are not Sith.
Yeah.
And neither of them claim to be Sith.
Yeah.
Which I was very happy about because, you know, throughout Clone Wars, for example, fucking Darth Maul, even after he's been cast aside, he kept saying, "Oh, I'm a Sith." Like, buddy, no, you're not.
Yeah. And
you fucking wish.
that it kind of became a catch-all term for like bad guy Jedi. Mm-hmm. It's just what it became.
I mean, it happens a lot.
It does.
Like, if you use the dark side, they're like, "Well, I'm a Sith." It's like, but you're not.
So there's, and we'll do a whole episode on this too. But there's a difference between the Sith as the species and the Sith as the philosophy.
Yeah.
And I mean, okay, maybe you follow one or the other, or you follow the philosophy if you're not actually the species. Okay, fair enough. But I mean, they didn't say the word Sith in Ahsoka at all. It's Dark Jedi.
Correct.
I did like that Balin looked at the captain who, I mean, he's supposed to be a good guy. He was kind of an arrogant twat.
Kind of?
He was an arrogant twat.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
And was like, you were right about one thing. We are no Jedi. And I was like, okay, well, yeah. And then, massacred their way through the ship.
Right.
And, of course, they gave Balin his Vader in the hallway moment, which...
I mean, I feel
yeah.
It's still not more dangerous than a Skywalker in a hallway.
No.
I feel
God.
like Skywalker in a hallway is just the most terrifying thing.
Just leave. You're done. Like
you're gonna die.
Yeah. No.
Just so you're aware.
Once the Skywalker has entered a hallway with a lightsaber, it's done. Like
it's over for you.
Yeah. That's like conversation complete. He now owns that hallway. We're finished here.
Yeah. Yep. It's done. You're fucked. Give up.
Yeah. Honestly, just
give up.
Put your gun down and go, I'm real sorry. And just walk away.
Right.
You're fine. Like, yeah. Like, hey man, I'm gonna not be here. So bye.
I'm gonna be somewhere else.
Coffee break? Yeah. I did love the fact that Morgan Elsbeth made a reappearance and came back for Ahsoka. She could have been a throwaway.
She could have been, but I feel like Mandalorian really made her a big part just because of the fact that when they were fighting, Ahsoka did say, where's your master? Clearly talking about Thrawn. And so she had to come back.
Well, she could have been a throwaway because she'd given Ahsoka the information she needed. That could have been the end of it.
Yeah.
But the fact they brought her back...
They had to.
Yeah.
I feel like they had to because of the fact that she obviously was making a promise to Thrawn, which, girl, he's not that into you.
Yeah.
Like he ain't gonna fuck you just because you're bringing him back from another galaxy. Like, calm down.
I mean,
She wanted on that blue dick.
oh, she's so bad.
So bad.
Like,
she's like, I must do this for Thrawn. I'm like, girl, okay. I mean, like I also have a weird fucking fear boner for him, but what?
But like, you're doing a lot here. Like, this is a lot of effort, and his response is going to be
doing too much.
Cool. Go away. Like,
cool story. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, which he literally did.
Delete my number.
Well, he more is like, just get deleted. So,
Well,
we'll get there.
that's not in this yet.
But I know bringing her back as the first main villain was great.
I did enjoy the twist of her being essentially a descendant of the Night Sisters.
Being Dathomir is a nice touch.
Yeah, I thought
nice
that was definitely not what I was expecting.
But I do, and I do kind of like that. So, the games and stories and books that have been considered canon basically set the Night Sisters apart from the rest of the Dathomir. You're not automatically a Night Sister.
Correct.
Yeah.
You have to become one.
Yeah.
And it's a whole process.
Yeah, but the Empire didn't, do nice things to Dathomir because it's the Empire. And
the Empire didn't do nice things to anyone.
yeah, basically.
They were fascists.
Yeah, that's the point. But the fact that she never got to become a Night Sister and, moved off to do something else makes a lot of story sense. It's
right.
It's how that universe progresses.
Yeah.
I will say the episode with her in The Mandalorian, with her and Mandalorian and Ahsoka was brilliant.
Oh, it was great.
Great episode.
So good.
And that, very dry. I think we should talk about him. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which we'll get to too. But yeah, backstories. I was a little. These are supposed to be the good guys. Like, the Republic's supposed to be the good guys. How did that dickbag become a captain?
Well,
I do get the.
How do I say these things without
failing
potentially potentially getting in trouble with anyone? Government is complex.
Very diplomatic of you.
I'm gonna say that.
Very diplomatic of you. Well done.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I get the suspicion of like, okay, you're not Jedi. Like, come on. I get the suspicion.
I understand the suspicion because of the fact that it was an old code and all of that. It's an old code, but it checks out. Yeah. But
that's called a callback.
But I feel like he got a little too comfortable.
Yeah.
With the whole thing.
And then got basically his entire crew massacred.
Yeah, I mean, like everybody died.
Yeah.
So.
But then cutting ahead to, after that whole scene, we finally get to Ahsoka in her own show. First of all, Rosario Dawson is a brilliant casting choice. She's phenomenal.
I have loved her since Kids.
If you haven't seen it.
It's really fucking depressing.
Yeah. It is.
Just fair warning.
It's phenomenal.
If you haven't seen Kids, just be prepared for a lot of crying because it's intense.
It's phenomenal.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful movie. It's sad.
It will repeatedly kick you in the emotions hard.
It's so sad. It's just a really depressing movie.
Yeah.
But I've loved her since then and have followed her career since the beginning.
And she's a fantastic actress.
Oh, she's incredible.
Just an incredible performer.
And she can do anything. Like, she goes from Kids, and then you turn around and watch her in Clerks 2 and 3, and you're just like, how the fuck is the same? This is the same person who did a really depressing movie, and then now is doing a comedy where she talks about ass to mouth. So. And
delivers them both very naturally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which actually made her as
insane.
Ahsoka even better. She comes across as very natural.
Yeah.
Nothing about the character feels forced or weird, and really does feel like a continuation of the Ahsoka we met in Rebels, who was a little bit older, a little more calm, not quite, the same snips we got in the Clone Wars, who was the first one to be like, I'm gonna go stab it. Like, yeah.
I'm gonna go blow it up. I'm gonna kill it. Which she very much got from her master.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, we're gonna do a whole episode on Ahsoka's backstory, and really the most unique thing about her Jedi training is that her master was Anakin.
Like just so great.
Yeah,
So
like,
good.
Like every other Jedi Padawan's like, my training was normal, and she's like, my training was weird.
My training was intense. I had a very overly emotional guy.
But also, I had the very over emotional guys, like hetero life mate with us as well the whole time.
The whole time.
So I somehow was the balance between, Captain Crazy and Captain Calm. And
I had to be the balance. Yeah.
Watching her use her lightsabers to cut that hole in the floor.
That may have been it was such a cool moment for me because I was sitting there watching it and that happened and I just went, she's so cool. Like just immediately. I'm like, why is she the fucking coolest ever?
Oh yeah, it was perfect.
She's so cool.
Like it was perfect.
I strive to be as cool as Ahsoka.
And then we get her Indiana Jones moment.
Oh yeah.
Which it may not have been intentional.
I think it was a little intentional.
I do too. And even if it wasn't, it's a lovely little touch.
Dave, was that intentional?
Yeah, seriously.
I need to know. Was that intentional?
Because if it was, kudos. If it
was
wasn't, fucking kudos. You accidentally stumbled into an Indiana Jones reference, which is awesome.
I think there was a little bit just because it's Dave.
Yeah. Honestly, I would struggle to believe that there wasn't. Like,
Yeah.
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 And then we get her first fight
With
of the
a
series.
bunch of fucking droids.
Which, okay, I'm sorry. Yes, lightsaber combat's supposed to be like, intense and fast, but the fact that she just dropped into the floor, then started cutting the floor out from underneath them.
So fucking cool.
Just like, bye.
I just love, like, she sees the one and she's just like, really?
Yeah, it's that, oh, come.
She's like, dude, it was going so smoothly.
Like, I've had a long day. Could we not?
And now you're here doing this, and I just want to go home. I'm so tired.
Which, she lives on a ship with Hu Yang, so the fact that she wants to go home is halfway a miracle.
I love Hu
I love Hu Yang too, but he's like 10,000 years old, and he's just developed this attitude of, fuck it all. I am here, I do what I do, and if you don't like it,
I love him so much, and I'm so glad that they brought him back for the series, and I'm especially glad that they managed to get David Tennant
to do his voice.
To do the voice again.
Which is, it's perfect.
He's so good at playing that role.
Well, he's also the other, British droid voice we got was Anthony Daniels doing 3PO.
Who is so high strung.
Yeah, and he said he played 3PO that way because, being British is his natural. He is British.
Yeah.
And the butler is 3PO's kind of thing, and anxious is just kind of how 3PO always is.
Right,
so it came out as an anxious British butler.
And Anthony Daniels is like, that's just my baseline.
Yeah. And yeah, it's brilliant. But the fact that Hu Yang is basically the opposite, he has no interest in doing anything for anybody unless it is making lightsabers and like helping the Jedi Order. Other than that, he's just like, I don't care what you do. Fuck off.
Jedi protocol. Shut the fuck up, Hu Yang.
Like, I am not a Jedi. He's like, yeah, well, I have my programming, so yeah.
Sorry about it. Sorry about it. Don't know what to tell you.
I did love this is a story moment that I really do enjoy. The map to Thrawn is this old Dathomiri relic. Yes. I very much enjoyed that touch, bringing, not just making Morgan Elsbeth Dathomiri, but actually bringing the Night Sisters, the Dathomiri, into the full story.
Yeah.
Again, it could have been she's Dathomiri. That's throwaway.
Right.
Would have been fine.
Right.
Han Solo being Corellian didn't really play into the first 3 movies. He just was Corellian. That's it.
Yeah.
But then they found the orb, and they're like, "Oh, these are Dathomiri ruins," which is in episode 2. But yeah, it's again a nice little story touch. It plays well into the whole series, which again, it's Dave. That's what he does. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
He knows the Star Wars universe inside and out. He is the keeper of the lore. He is George's adopted son, essentially.
Yeah.
And anything that George has in his brain, Dave knows. Because
Basically.
George shares it with him and he's like, hey, I have this idea. Because he consulted George a lot for this series.
Well, he also operates in the same wavelength. So, like, when George has half an idea, Dave is like, oh, I know where you're going. I love it. Yay.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And let's be fair. I mean, the man voiced Chopper. Like, the whole, all through Rebels and in Ahsoka.
And in
the man
Ahsoka, yeah.
voiced Chopper.
Yep.
Yeah. We didn't get to Chopper till episode 2, but still.
I mean, we're talking about both episodes, so it's fine.
I did.
It's one long episode, let's be real.
Yes. Yeah, it really is. I did love that they got Clancy Brown to come back and play and play Ryder Azadi. That was...
I was so happy because as soon as I heard him talking, I literally went, oh, it's actually the guy.
And I love Clancy Brown. He's such a great actor. He's wonderful.
He's great.
And that whole scene, he's like, all right, we're going to honor the heroes, and the one's going to talk, Commander Wren.
Just kidding.
What the fuck?
And then he goes to Jaikel, and he's like,
Again, another wonderful little throwback.
Yeah.
Like, that's not going to be important in the rest of the story. I would imagine not.
Probably not.
But there he is. Like,
yeah.
That's... Again, if you haven't seen Rebels, why are you watching this?
I mean, apparently there are people who have been watching like a lot of these series and have not watched the animated series. And like there's one, I'm not going to name the person because I do like some of his content on YouTube. And I don't want him getting mad. But he didn't like Ahsoka, and his reasoning was, I shouldn't have to watch a cartoon to know what's going on.
Okay,
and
it's
I'm like,
animated, but it's not a cartoon.
First of all, it's animated. Second of all, no, you kind of do because the Star Wars universe is vast.
Yeah.
And it is huge. If you don't watch Clone Wars and Rebels, you're not going to have any fucking idea what's happening in Ahsoka. You have to know it. And so he basically was like, well, I didn't like the series because I didn't know who these people were. Fuck it. So go back and watch Clone Wars and Rebels, you fuck. What are you talking about?
I will happily admit that I had to force myself through episodes like 1 through 4 of Rebels.
I think that's pretty typical for a lot of shows in general.
Well,
but I knew it was important.
But these are short episodes.
They're like 23 minutes long.
Yeah.
They're not long. You can get through all 4 seasons in easily like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, without a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, take your time with the last couple seasons because
oh my god, the last 7 episodes of season 4 make me want to die.
Thanks, Dave.
I mean, that's how I felt about Clone Wars too. So
yeah.
I'm like, oh cool. The entirety of season 7 makes me want to yeet myself into traffic. This is great. And the last 4 especially, I'm like, I'm dead inside.
Yeah.
I'm dead.
Well, deader than more than.
Well, yeah, no, like more dead than normal.
Yeah. Yeah. When he couldn't find Sabine, I was like, all right, cool. What's going to happen next? And then, of course, so this I love. Every character in Star Wars has gotten their own sort of theme song. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And some of them are, like variations on each other.
Yeah.
Which, okay, fair enough. And then Sabine gets a fucking punk song.
Of course she does.
Of course. 1, awesome. 2, not even remotely surprising.
No,
if
anyone should get a song like that, it should be her.
Yeah. I did love that they went into Legends and pulled out the E-Wing.
Yes.
That was a nice little touch. Again, only the big old nerds are gonna notice, but
also thank you, Dave.
Yeah. I mean, look at me. Big old nerd. Like, come on. Yeah. Yeah.
Same.
No one's ever looked at me and been like, I bet he's into stock trading. Like, no. No. Everyone's looked at me and been like, Star Trek or Star Wars? I'm like, yes, both.
Yes, and.
But her initial entrance was like, yeah, that is classic Sabine.
It is, yeah.
Personality is right.
Her avoiding responsibilities, shocking.
Well, her avoiding like public acknowledgement of things.
Just anything.
Yeah, she's
her
like,
avoiding.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Sabine Wren avoiding.
Yeah.
That checks out.
It's like, I don't. Basically, Sabine's whole personality is, do I want to do this? If yes, I will do this. If no, I will not. That's the end of it.
Sabine absolutely follows the rule of if it is not a fuck yes, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And I love that about her.
With the exception of if it's not a fuck yes, but it can be blown up, then I'll think about it.
I'll consider it.
Like, then there's possibility.
Yeah.
Otherwise, nah.
Right. Yeah.
I did love that she's living in Ezra's old tower.
I thought that was a very nice touch, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
Simply for the fact that she is obviously very broken without him. And by this time, we know that her entire family on Mandalore is gone.
Yeah.
Her mom is dead, her dad is dead, her brother is dead because the Empire
bombed Mandalore into glass. Like, yeah.
So it makes sense that, you know, the one person she did get closest to, which was Ezra, which is very surprising considering when they first meet each other in Rebels, she's like,
well, also
No.
Ezra's being like, "How you doing?"
Because
she's
he's
like, "Fuck right off."
he's like, he's 15.
and she's like, what?
17,
Something like that, yeah.
17 or 18. She's still young. She's a teenager because she had just left the Imperial Academy. Yeah. So like she was still very young. And Ezra was about 15. And so obviously like the wind blows and he gets a boner.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah, any dude can confirm basically between the ages of like 12 and 16. Like, I mean, it takes a gentle breeze and you're just like, hello. Oh, fuck.
And it's awake. Great.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I learned, obviously, I don't have a penis, so I don't know if that, like I don't
Weird.
actually, weird that I'm not sure. But I did learn watching the show Big Mouth.
Oh, God.
That apparently the slightest like finger tap on a young boy will get them hard.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, it's, you know, the science comes down to basically blood pressure, and when you're young, your blood pressure is perfect. So,
yeah, and you know, men have two heads and not enough blood to run to both at the same time.
Robin
So, when they are teenagers, the blood chooses one head at all times. And I learned that from Big Mouth, and I went, "Is that accurate?" And I asked like a couple of my guy friends who have watched the show, and they're like, "Yeah, no, that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it." And I'm like,
basically
God.
how Ezra approached Sabine at first. He was just like, "Oh, hello."
He's like, "You have boobs,"
and it, you know, of course, Sabine was like, "This is go sit quietly." Like,
she's like, "No,"
but they became like family.
Yeah.
And we see her little holodisc of Ezra. And this I love. This was a worry of mine. I was worried that by the end of the season, it would be like Sabine's unrequited love for Ezra, and there'd be like a big romantic. No. They are family.
Yeah.
Clearly, I have reason to be worried about what Disney will do with Star Wars, which we will cover.
I'm not talking about that right now. I have thoughts.
Skywalker.
Shut the fuck up.
It's Pavlovian. I say those words and you just like start to see. It's great.
Fucking hate it.
But I did love that Sabine was living in an attempt to be as close to Ezra as she possibly could be, given that they don't know if he's dead or alive. They know he's gone.
Yeah.
And I love that. Also, for anyone asking, there's more than just the one room in the tower. She doesn't just live in that one little workspace. Like,
that would be weird.
That would be very strange. And as a hero of the rebellion, I'm sure the government of Lothal was probably like, "Hey, you want this like fucking kick-ass house over here?" Like,
and she's like, "No, I want to live in a tower.
Like, I'm gonna live in that thing because yeah." Also, she has a pet loath cat, which is phenomenal.
Little baby,
and
it does a big stretch.
Okay,
and I literally just because that's my response to all animals stretching. I just went big stretch.
If you see an animal stretch and you don't think at least think to yourself, big stretch, you are a monster.
Also, you're breaking the law.
Yeah,
because it is illegal to not at least acknowledge the big stretch,
even if you just think it.
Yeah, you have to acknowledge it in some way.
Yeah.
When I go to the zoo and I see the animals doing stretches, I literally am like, "Oh, big stretch."
There's a
So I did this. I said big stretch to a computerized animal.
There is a wild animal sanctuary near here that has a tiger. His name is Frank.
And he likes boops.
He loves boops on the nose.
Boop.
Frank is a 1,000-pound apex predator and could easily unalive me in a heartbeat. And every time I go out there and see him stretch, out of my mouth without any fail. Ooh, big stretch. Every time.
Yeah, because he do the big stretch.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a cat, and cats do cat things, and all cats like boops.
Oh, he loves, first of all, the first time you boop Frank is terrifying because Frank's enormous and is a tiger.
I want to give him a boop.
When you boop Frank, he goes, "Ooh."
Oh,
It's adorable.
baby.
He's phenomenal.
I want to give him a boop. I want to give him a boop so bad.
I did love that. So like, you don't really get a sense for like, are Loth cats wild cats? Are they domesticated cats? Like Rebels doesn't really show that until Sabine brings the map back and she has it on the table and the cat's like trying to paw at it.
Yep.
And she's like, nope.
But that's the thing is like even
It's a
if
cat.
it's a wild cat, a cat is a cat is a cat.
Yeah.
Like you put a box near a big cat, they're
gonna
gonna get in the box because if I fits, I sits.
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't even matter if they fit. If you put a medium-sized box near a large cat, they're gonna try to get in it.
They're gonna get in it because cats are liquid
Yeah.
and they can adjust to any place that they are. So it doesn't matter. Cats are cats are cats.
And I love that they put that in the show.
Yeah.
Like it behaves like a cat.
Yeah.
Which is
It
lovely.
is because it is a cat.
Yeah, which is lovely. I heard a lot of shit from people when. Well, we should back up a little bit first. When Ahsoka and Sabine reunite,
Yes.
we get the idea of a lot of tension between them, which we do, which is explained in some detail later, which we'll get to. But Sabine has Ezra's saber.
Yes. He left it for her.
Which he does in Rebels.
He does do it in Rebels, and then she did make her own adjustments to it to make it hers.
Hu Yang later points out this was Ezra's, and now you changed it. Now it's yours. And and Sabine's reaction is basically, oh, fucking hell.
Shut the fuck up, Hu Yang. God damn.
When Sabine fights Shin Hati, she was going to lose that fight.
She's very rusty with her lightsaber skills.
Yeah, she's going to lose that fight. But what I loved as a series progressed is that she doesn't start winning fights until she starts fighting like a Mandalorian with a sword. And not like a Jedi.
Yes.
She's a Mandalorian. Her combat style is her armor, her blaster. When she starts using them both with the saber, then she's unstoppable.
Yeah.
But before that, she's clumsy and she's awkward and she gets a little bit better. And then Shin Hati stabs her in the side, which everyone was like, well, that killed Qui-Gon.
No.
Guys.
What killed Qui-Gon was a direct shot in the middle with the saber.
The middle's where all the important bits are.
That's where all the important organs are. Where Sabine got stabbed was to the side, where there is literally nothing.
It's fat and muscle, and on her
it's muscle
and very little fat. Yeah,
yeah.
And also, when Qui-Gon dies, Obi-Wan's there. Has to deal with Maul kind of half first, but Obi-Wan's not a medic, and also there's no force healing.
Force healing does not exist.
So force healing in the games makes sense. There has to be a way to heal your character that doesn't involve like pulling a D&D and mixing a potion. Or
Yeah, exactly.
So in the games, absolutely. In the actual Star Wars universe, the only force healing we ever see is in some of the novelizations, and it takes a lot from the person doing the healing.
It's literally giving their own life force to that person.
Yeah.
What we didn't see, like it was episode 9, garbage.
I'm surprised you know this.
I try to block out a lot from those movies because they're trash. I'm sorry if you like the movies. I don't. That's just personal opinion. I can't stand them. We'll get into that later. But
absolutely will.
Anyway,
with a bottle of bourbon. Yeah.
She doesn't give any of her life force to Kylo. It's literally, she is just going, huh. When, for example, we see Grogu doing it to, blanking on his name.
The Mandalorian?
In The Mandalorian, when he's healing, it was in season 2. The mayor.
Oh, yeah. I'm not
Or
gonna
the
get his
governor.
name. I'm not going to get his name.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Anyway, doesn't
You
matter.
don't remember everything.
Look, I haven't had, this is only my second cup of coffee today. I'm really tired.
This is my third, and I'm still kind of fuzzy.
Like things are not happening.
Just in case anyone's, thinking to themselves, oh, well, brew stronger coffee. This shit could peel the shine off a trailer hitch.
It's true.
So
it's delicious.
we do not drink
Grief
coffee.
Karga.
Thank you.
Grief Karga. Thank you.
Who is
Thank
honestly
you, Google.
a wonderful character.
Oh God, Carl Weathers is also just a
Carl Weathers is
blessing.
phenomenal.
But when Grogu is healing him because he got hurt,
You see him go.
he gets tired.
Yeah, it takes a lot out of him.
And that kind of force healing is different because he was healing a wound, not close to death.
Yeah, and Obi-Wan wasn't trained for that.
Right? No, he didn't know how to do that.
And Qui-Gon got it right in the organs, so he's dead. Sabine gets it in the side, and also Hu Yang and Ahsoka are right there.
Like
they're about
literally
to come help her.
Literally coming to grab her to take her to.
So where she was stabbed, not fatal. Help is immediately, readily available.
Exactly.
She's gonna live.
Yeah. So stop.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I get what I do understand the impulse of it. She got stabbed. Why is she okay? I get that. Think about where though, because if you get stabbed in the hand, and
you're not gonna die.
I mean, it's gonna suck.
It's gonna hurt
It's
real
gonna
bad.
Suck. But you're not. Yeah.
But you're not gonna die.
It's important. I did like that Hu Yang is basically refers to her repairs as being complete later, which is great.
I mean, of course he does.
Getting into the beginning of episode 2, Ahsoka goes back to the tower to kind of look at the scene of the battle. I did love that Sabine took out a couple of the droids, no armor, of course, managed to take them out without a problem. It's Sabine, and Ahsoka goes back, and I did love that you see this look on her face of, I know you're there, and then the droid drops, and she very quickly cuts his head off.
She's like, Beep.
Yeah, she's like, and no.
She's like, there it is.
I also, and this is when Hu Yang's personality begins, because he's just kind of Hu Yang at the beginning. He's just there.
Yeah.
You got Hera as the hologram, and Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Hera is nailing it. Perfect.
God, I'm so gay. Just that the whole series is just a dream for me. I'm like, hang on.
Yeah, she's
goddamn.
That's perfect casting. She's of course nailing the character. Yeah. With Hera's the hologram and Ahsoka there and Hu Yang there and Sabine in the hospital bed, and Sabine's like, well, I can fix the droid head and it'll tell us where it came from. And it's like, well, what if you do it wrong? She's like, it could explode.
The temperature will go up and it might explode.
Yeah.
And he's just like,
and
fucking what?
Hu Yang's like, maybe we should do this somewhere else. And Hera, of course, is like, nah, go ahead. And God bless Hu Yang, just like, you are a hologram.
It's because you're a hologram.
and
Hera looks at him like, yeah?
And?
What's your point?
I mean,
like, I would die.
Hera's very, well, to be fair, Hera has spent most of her adult life with Chopper. So really, there's no one who can, be sarcastic to the point where Hera will change her mind.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, she's literally, Chopper is her droid. And yeah, Chopper.
He is best boy.
Yeah.
We love Chopper.
And of course, they, figure out it's from Corellia. They go to Corellia. This part actually didn't surprise me. Of course, there are still Imperial sympathizers left.
Yeah, they're going to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they're stupid.
Yeah, and that's it does
and they
make
can't
sense.
Let shit go.
It does make sense. That's, and I mean, this is true of this is even true of of our society. There are people after massive wars who still supported the losing side. Most people would say things like, "Okay, I supported the losing side. They lost. I'm going to go on living. Who cares?" Some people get really uppity about it, which these idiots did, and then attempted to attack a Jedi and Hera in an enclosed space. Which just, as soon as that happened,
why are you so dumb?
There was no, that wasn't. No.
I think one of my favorite parts of that whole thing
is the protocol droid.
was the protocol droid basically being like, so,
I totally know something. And the dude's like, shut the fuck up, narc.
yeah, I know. And I love that he's like, oh, well, sorry, classified. And Hera's just like, I'm a general.
Like,
there is no classified for me, so go ahead and open it.
Like,
and
hey.
he's like, nope, can't. And she's just like,
oh, you need
you're
authorization?
fucking gonna, little man.
You need authorization? I'm a general. Authorized. Do.
Yeah, I am literally authorizing this right now. So do the thing, little man. And he's just like, well, I can't.
And then for the Empire, and then everyone's dead. And I just like, okay, well, that was predictable.
Right. It was predictable. And then, but I loved it. I loved that because I saw it coming, but I still was just like, yes, that's so satisfying.
The camera kept jumping to the technicians in the room, like giving like the shifty side eye, like
yeah.
And you know something's about to happen, of course. I did love that the protocol droid was kind of confused, like, this is the information. Why isn't anyone else telling?
Yeah.
I know this. What the hell are you
what's
people
the
doing?
problem?
Like,
I don't understand.
It's that very, very like 3PO style.
Yeah, and I mean, and I love that, it's like, well, where is the hyperdrive now? It's leaving.
It's over there.
It's over there on that thing.
It's
so
up hot.
Unfortunately, I can't stop it now because it's already leaving. And then Ahsoka, being Ahsoka, instead of taking the stairs
like a normal person,
she's like, break glass, jump down, do superhero landing. And I'm like, yeah, no, that checks out.
Every time I watch that scene, all I hear in my head is Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool going, superhero landing, superhero landing.
Superhero landing. Because she does. She's just like, shoomp.
Yep.
It's fucking dope.
And then we get the Inquisitor who came out of no. Who is he?
No idea.
Yeah, I don't either.
No fucking clue.
Anyone who was like, it might be Ezra. No.
Shut the fuck up. If it was Ezra, why were they still looking for Thrawn?
Yeah, how did Ezra
Because
get back?
they disappeared at the same time. So it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, made no sense. But again, great fight.
Oh, it was fucking great.
Did love the end of it when, so he throws the saber at her, he runs away.
Yeah.
She, he gets on his ship, the ship like starts, and then he puts his hand out to get his saber.
And she just,
And it comes over her shoulder. She's like,
which is very reminiscent of Clone Wars when Anakin like goes and meets Obi-Wan on the bridge.
What are you doing down
and
there?
he's like, Master, what are you doing down there? And a blast comes and he's just like, shoop. Like it's nothing. And Obi-Wan's just like, you fucking psycho.
like, yeah.
Get down.
They are literally shooting at us.
Like, you're a fucking lunatic. Are you okay?
I mean,
No, the answer is no.
It's
Anakin is never okay.
And then we got Hera chasing. I did love that they kept the stolen Separatist shuttle as the Phantom, which is just a nice little touch. And Chopper in his little port on the side. And of course, Hera is not going to get shot down. It's Hera. Like,
she's like the best pilot.
yeah, when she wears the goggles, she's great. So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And she's, Chopper, get a homing beacon ready. And you see Chopper just throwing shit out of a drawer. And finally, okay, if anyone doesn't know this, there's a thing on YouTube called Chop Talk. Basically, it is translations of Chopper, and he is wonderfully vulgar. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I think the way that they did it was so well done because,
you can,
it gave Dave Filoni an excuse to curse on Disney.
Yeah, but
because he says "fuck" several times.
Oh yeah, but you also get like Chopper's voice has a cadence to it, so it sounds like words.
Yeah,
and you hear Chopper make a bunch of noises, and that ends up translating to, "Mom, did you touch my stuff?"
No, Chopper, I didn't touch your stuff.
Did you look under the battery? You see Chopper's like,
found it. I specifically really enjoy when he's like, why don't you just shoot it down? Like,
Hera's like, well, we can't shoot it. It'll crash into the city.
And that's a bad thing?
Yep. It's direct translation. Like,
Chopper, you're a war criminal. Stop.
I mean, so someone figured out, someone went through all of Rebels and tried to figure out approximately how many Imperials Chopper directly had a hand in killing, and the number is somewhere around 50,000.
He's a war criminal. He's a war criminal.
He's the most adorable war criminal.
Oh, we love him.
But
we stan Chopper here.
Yeah,
this is a Chopper household.
Yes, absolutely. But he was a fucking menace.
He was a menace. He was.
I did love, so when he throws the transponder, it lands on the ship, and you see Chopper go,
He does his little go Chop, go Chop.
I love Chopper. So, okay, we're honestly gonna do a whole episode on Chopper.
I hope so.
Oh, we're absolutely really? Come on.
I love him. I should have brought my little Chopper. I got a little Chopper thing for my birthday. It's a little toy, and he actually talks and responds and stuff.
I actually ordered a Chopper coffee pot. It'll be here soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that online. I'm like, huh?
I guess that's mine now. Yeah, I was very excited about that.
There were 2 left. There is now 1 left. And if it gets here and I like it enough, there will be none left. So
I will have 2 choppers.
But this is one thing I really am at the beginning of Ahsoka. What grabbed me, I was prepared for this to be a new Ahsoka story, to kind of sort of have the Rebels characters appear as peripheral characters, but this to be a focus on Ahsoka going after Thrawn. And the fact that it very quickly turned into
Season 5 of Rebels.
Season 5 of Rebels was brilliant.
I loved it.
Yeah. It was great. The only character who didn't make an appearance I was sad about was Zeb.
Yeah, we at least got to see Zeb in The Mandalorian.
A brief glimpse of him in
which I was fine with. I expect to see live action Zeb in season 2 of Ahsoka.
I would hope so. Because honestly, once they come back, because Zeb's probably off doing his own thing as a pilot with the Republic.
He's training people.
Yeah.
I mean, Ezra talks about it.
Yeah.
Later, but yeah.
I would expect that once they come back, season 2 picks up, they're gonna go to Zeb and be like, "Hey man, we're getting the old band back together, and we need your help." And of course, Zeb's gonna be super excited to see Ezra, even though his response is gonna be, "Oh, damn it, you again."
Not you. Not you. He loves him.
Oh yeah.
He loves Ezra.
Yeah. And of course, season 2 has a lot of potential bringing back characters like Agent Callus, which would be.
Give me Callus.
We're gonna do a whole thing on Rebels.
I have such a weird boner for Callus because he.
You do.
I mean, he had the best character arc.
Yeah.
Absolutely the best character arc in Rebels. And he got hot all of a sudden. He became a rebel, and all of a sudden, he grew out his beard and shit. And I was like, I am attracted to a cartoon. Why? This is very confusing. I am very confused.
But once we get to the end of, and this is something that we're going to leave the last 15 minutes for, because up until this point, we've seen Ahsoka. Mm-hmm. And Hera just, utterly demolish some Imperial sympathizers. We watched Sabine get stabbed in the gut.
Yeah.
We watched Ahsoka just manhandle a bunch of droids without really breaking a sweat. And Sabine, during most of it, is kind of sitting there being like, I don't know what the fuck do I do? She's obviously she's conflicted. We find out later why. But then we get to, and God bless you, Dave Filoni, for this. When Sabine finally has that moment of, I'm ready. I'm gonna be Ahsoka's apprentice again. I'm gonna go with her to find Ezra. Which, side note, Ahsoka's a great Jedi. Anyone who says otherwise is just wrong. Sorry,
you're incorrect.
Yeah. Ahsoka wants to find Thrawn. She needs Sabine's help. So she framed it to Sabine as, I have a way to find Ezra.
Which honestly is very smart.
It is. It's manipulative. A little. But it got her what she needed. Sabine is never on this journey to get Thrawn. No. She's on this journey to find Ezra.
Yes.
Getting Thrawn is secondary and honestly in Sabine's mind, unimportant. Not a worry. Ezra first.
Yes.
But that moment where Sabine starts laying out her armor, and then we get the almost shot for shot redo of Kanan going into his Jedi Ronin phase.
Yeah. Jedi Ronin.
That's kind of what he becomes.
Kinda, yeah.
Which, when we talk about Rebels, we're going to talk about, blind Kanan whooping Maul's ass, which was amazing. But it's almost shot for shot.
Yeah, just about.
Helmet, the knife, and that's the visual representation of Sabine is
Ready.
yeah. She's committed herself to this.
Yeah.
I was very excited that they left the art style. Everything Sabine supposedly drew, the art style carried over from Rebels,
Of course.
which I love.
Yeah.
It wasn't touched up. It wasn't made nicer. It
No.
was still that goofy, almost childish Lothcat drawing.
I love that. I love that so much.
It's perfect. It's if you haven't watched Rebels, even though it's a cartoon, fucking watch it.
It's not made for kids.
Yes, no,
Like
really not.
they basically were like, yeah, we're gonna frame this as if it's for children. It's not for children.
It's very much
Holy
not.
shit.
It's very much not.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Whew.
It's intense.
It really is.
Same thing with Clone Wars. Like
Oh,
Clone
yeah.
Wars, they were like, yeah, no, it's for kids. It's on Cartoon Network. It's not for fucking kids.
Oh, it sort of was for kids a little in the beginning, and then very quickly everyone making it was like, no.
We need to get real dark with this.
Oh
Like,
my God.
and it got dark.
Jesus. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Hu Yang did kind of poke at Sabine's confidence in the first couple episodes
Yeah.
with a hammer.
I mean, that's very much a Hu Yang thing, though.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just who he is as a droid. I was about to say as a person, but he's not a person. So
I mean, I think of Chopper and R2 as people. So, they basically are.
basically humans.
Yeah. I mean, well, shit, R2, good God. No wonder that droid. The fact that R2 is not blown a circuit and gone fully homicidal after everything he's seen.
He has some fucking trauma.
Good God.
Oh boy.
I mean, why do you think he follows Luke into the swamp when Luke tells him to stay there?
Because the last time someone told him to wait with the ship, he didn't come back.
Last time a Skywalker told him wait with the ship, he didn't come back, and Archer's like, I'm not losing another one of these fuckers.
Yeah, he literally was like, that's funny. No. Beep,
Oh,
beep,
no,
beep,
no,
beep.
no. We've done this before. No.
That's why he follows Luke literally everywhere.
Yeah.
It's honestly adorable.
I
It's
fucking
very
love
cute.
it.
He's like, no, your dad said this to me.
Yeah.
We're not, no, absolutely the fuck not.
But I did like that Hu Yang was very honest with Sabine. Like, hey, you're not a great Jedi. Like, I've
No.
seen thousands, and you are very much not near the top of that list.
Yeah, which honestly is fair because she doesn't have the natural ability like other Jedi do.
So
And the Force, as we know, is something that is among all living beings, and anyone can wield the Force. Anyone can wield it.
it's just a matter of to what degree you have the natural talent. Yeah.
Correct. And she doesn't have it. She
But-
doesn't. And she knows that. She's not dumb.
Yeah.
She's aware.
And you have to assume that not every Jedi, even in the height of the Jedi Order, not every Jedi is going to be Obi-Wan, Anakin powerful or Yoda powerful.
Yeah. And even Obi-Wan was not really powerful with the Force itself.
No.
He was really good with, the Jedi mind trick, obviously. But overall, his Force ability was
the
not.
droids you're looking for.
Exactly. He overall was not that powerful with the Force. He was somebody who was better at combat.
He was combatant. Anakin was both.
Anakin was both.
Yoda
but-
was more the super strong with the Force,
Correct.
and just hard to fight because he's this big.
Yeah, but Obi-Wan was not that strong with the Force itself.
Yeah.
He was more combat than he was a Force wielder.
And you have to assume that's how
So-
that's going to play into Sabine's strengths really well.
Yeah,
She's-
exactly.
She's a Mandalorian.
Yeah, so she's great at combat.
So her Force abilities might
Automatically.
be mediocre to average.
Yeah.
But as we see later in the series, and this started in The Mandalorian, and I liked it. Mandalorian armor is supposed to be able to deflect blaster shots.
Right.
You see that in the very first episode of The Mandalorian. He grabs a guy with his lasso thing. The dude turns around and shoots him in the armor, and the Mandalorian doesn't try to dodge it, doesn't try to avoid it.
Yep.
He lets the armor take the shot, which same way medieval knights would let the armor take a sword hit. They know it can deflect that shot.
Yeah.
once Sabine starts leaning into her Mandalorian armor, her blaster, her saber, she becomes a fucking wrecking ball.
Yeah.
Like, because that's how she's trained to fight.
Right.
The saber is an addition.
Yeah.
And we do see her actually put her arm up and take blaster shots in the armor.
Yeah.
That's what it's for.
Yeah, exactly.
As opposed to Stormtrooper armor, which is, I guess, decorative.
It's plastic. It's made of plastic.
Yeah. Which actually Rex does comment on at one point during Rebels.
Yeah, he does. He's just like,
throws his helmet down the hallway.
he's like, the clone armor was so much better than this.
I do love that he takes the helmet. He's trying to shoot with the helmet on. Kanan's like, God, you're a terrible shot. And he's like, can't see this damn thing. Throws the helmet, knocks the Stormtrooper over.
And then suddenly he's a perfect shot.
Yep. Because that helmet obviously is hard to see out.
That's why the stormtroopers are bad.
Well, they're also, compared to the clones, just terrible troops.
Well, yeah, they are.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's partially the helmet.
Yeah.
Because
Well, if
you can't see.
shoot.
You can't see in that thing.
Yeah. But I do love that these characters have obviously grown. It's been years since Rebels.
Yeah.
Sabine is not quite the firebrand wrecking ball that she was.
Right.
In Rebels. I mean, Hera is obviously older and chiller. Chopper's basically the same because it's Chopper.
Chopper's not changing.
Yeah.
That's why we love him.
Yeah. Hera's leaned into her responsibilities as a Republic general now.
Yeah.
Seeing the ghost was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was
Didn't
very
get
cool.
to see it fly in episodes 1 or 2, but just seeing the background, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, it's the ghost.
And like you said at the beginning, these are basically one long episode with credits in the middle. We didn't see a lot of Balin in 1 or 2. We see him rescue Morgan Elsbeth. Mm-hmm. We see him on the planet with the map stones.
With the runes and everything, yeah.
I very much enjoy the fact that his character really, he's a dark Jedi, but he very clearly is not like, I must kill everyone who's a Jedi.
I feel like he has a different, I don't know how to word this. He definitely has a different motivation than other dark Jedi. His focus is not killing anyone who gets in my way.
Yeah.
It's very much, I just want to do what is going to be right for me.
Yeah.
It's
not the greater
like
good,
that.
it's him. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
he does comment at one point, someone's like, oh, does it trouble you that Ahsoka is the one after us? And he says, well, it would be a shame if we have to kill her. There are so few Jedi left.
Yeah. Which is why I don't think that he fully has embraced the dark side.
He's a mercenary.
I don't see him as someone who has fully embraced the dark side.
Shin Hati, on the hand, I think this is, I think she's the foil for Sabine.
Yeah.
She reminds me a lot of how Sabine was in Rebels. Headstrong, dive into a problem, weapon first.
I am excited to see how her character evolves for season 2.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's a lot of potential for her to go to a better side.
Or be an incredible villain.
Yeah. I think that it could go either way for her because
Yeah.
she doesn't know much else. I am sad that we may not see what could happen with Balin, R.I.P. Ray.
Yeah.
Sad.
But I will say, and of course we'll get to this later, this little tease for the end of the show, ending it with that shot of Balin on the statue, which are it's the Mortis figures. That okay, first of all, Dave, good God. Teach a masterclass in cliffhangers, because fuck, it's so annoying.
He is very good at it.
Oh my God,
he's so good at it. Because I'm like this. I even when the series ended, I literally went, "That's how you're ending it."
It's
What?
phenomenal. It's just incredibly annoying at the same time.
Yeah, it is.
And
he does a hell of a job.
he really does. But ending it like that, I mean, obviously tells us that that's going to be part of
Right.
season 2. And the Mortis arc in Clone Wars is it's the first time Ahsoka died.
Yeah.
Because she does die in that arc.
Yeah, she does. And the sister is the one who gives her the life force
Yep.
to come back, which is why the sister, perishes, because she literally gave most of her life force to Ahsoka.
Yeah. And so the fact that Ahsoka died in Clone Wars in the Mortis arc.
That's the best arc
It
in
is.
the entire fucking
Hands
show.
down.
It's the best one. Oh, God, I love it so much.
And now we're going to revisit it in her series. Opens a lot of really cool doors. There's a lot of possibility there. There's a lot of really cool options there.
Mm-hmm.
There's also, and this was pointed out to me by a friend, the father, the son, and the daughter are basically the living force.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. The father is the balance, son is the dark side, daughter is the light side.
Yeah. Sabine is also there. And her relationship with the Force, with being a Jedi, is tenuous at best. How is that going to play into the arc? Because it's going to. It has to.
It's going
there.
to. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm
am
excited to see where Dave is going to take this story.
Yeah.
Because it is a very important part of the Star Wars universe.
It is.
And if you don't agree, I'm sorry, you have terrible taste.
Maybe don't insult the people we want to subscribe to our Patreon.
It's fine.
Just saying.
They're fine. They'll be fine. They've got it. They're grown.
In theory. Unless you liked 7, 8, and 9, in which case I'm glad you enjoyed them.
I'm happy for you. I didn't. Yeah, but I'm happy you enjoyed them.
They were very pretty.
They were movies.
Oh, no. Someone asked me.
That's it. They were movies.
Someone asked me to give 7, 8, and 9 a genuine compliment, one that I meant. And I said, okay, cool. ILM did a beautiful job with the visual effects. It was visually stunning.
Yeah, for sure. I can agree with that.
I genuinely mean every word of that.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I can agree with that. They were pretty.
It was visually beautiful.
The stories were weak.
Also, all those actors, in their own right, are good performers.
Yeah.
They really are. Oscar Isaac is one of my favorite performers.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, and just watch Moon Knight. Watch Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't like him in 7, 8, and 9, that's fair, because honestly, I think he phoned it in for especially the last one. Somehow Palpatine returned.
Yeah. We'll get into
Question
that.
mark.
We'll get into that. But, and again,
yeah.
you actually just tied this back into the brilliance of the Ahsoka series. Everyone cast in the show so far in the first two episodes is brilliant casting.
Oh, yeah.
It's brilliant casting.
100%.
Because there was not a moment, there was no moment watching the first 2 episodes where I looked at a character and went, that feels weird. No.
Yeah, same.
It felt right
Yeah, it
every
did.
single time. And going from animated to live action, sometimes that can be a really weird transition.
It can be really tricky.
I did like the little nod. Ahsoka meets up with Sabine. She's in her armor. She's carrying her helmet. She's cut her hair short. So it goes, I like your hair.
Yeah, nice haircut.
Sabine's like, yeah, it feels like more me. Like,
And it is. The long hair, as much as I liked the long hair,
oh, look great.
it was not Sabine.
But I think that was part of the point.
Yeah, because it wasn't Sabine when we met her.
Yeah.
When we met her in this series,
It's
it
kinda like the
wasn't Sabine
ghost of
anymore.
Sabine, like,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. It
Yeah.
wasn't Sabine anymore. And then once she cut off her hair, she was like, this is it. This is who I am. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, there it is. We
Yeah.
found it.
But that's what this is my criteria for all Star Wars shows. I watch the first two or 3 episodes, and if I buy the characters, I'm in. Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
Hell, the first episode of Clone Wars is Yoda and a couple clones. Bought it immediately.
It was so good.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Which, again, we'll do a whole Clone Wars. That's going to be... We're going to do basically one episode of all the Clone Wars and then one episode of the last 4 episodes of the Clone Wars, because good God.
And I'm going to cry because I cry when I talk about it.
Which honestly is Ahsoka's origin story. She is the most interesting character in Star Wars, as far as I'm concerned, because we get the most of her backstory. We get the most of her life.
Yeah, and I feel like she is definitely one who is incredibly broken.
Yeah. I mean, how could she not be?
Right. Well, every time, like I've seen this meme of like a picture of Rey, and it's like, name a more flawed character, a more broken character, and I'm like, Ahsoka Tano, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Qui-Gon Jinn, like
Anakin Skywalker.
Anakin fucking Skywalker. What are you talking about? Have you never seen any of the other things in Star Wars?
Literally everyone else in Star Wars. Captain Rex.
Yeah, like fucking R2 has a more fucking, he has more trauma than Rey.
Shit,
like, shut the fuck
Chopper
up.
has a PTSD moment in Rebels.
Yeah. So like, very kindly go fuck yourself on that one. Like that is the dumbest meme I've ever seen. Because like, no, Rey is not even remotely broken.
Name
like
another strong female character.
Ahsoka Tano,
Okay.
Shak T,
Let's go back to even the beginning of all of Star Wars.
Padme Amidala,
Padme, Leia.
Leia. Like, shut the fuck up.
By the way, if you ever get the chance, this is for you and
Jesus.
everyone watching. Go watch all of Carrie Fisher's speeches when they gave Harrison Ford AFI award. They gave
I've seen
Lifetime
that.
Achievement
So
Award.
funny.
They're brilliant.
Oh yeah, very funny.
She starts one by coming on stage going, "My name is Gary and I'm an alcoholic."
Oh wait, sorry,
Wrong meeting.
wrong
well,
meeting.
Maybe not.
Very good. Carrie Fisher was a blessing. We love you and miss you, Space Mom.
Oh, she was. Oh God, she was so.
She was great.
In an interview, Mark Hamill was talking about keeping the secret about
Yeah,
Vader being his dad. Do I have to say spoiler alert for that?
I would hope not.
And basically, he was like, "Well, I mean, it was, Carrie Fisher was on set too," and he goes, "Well, yeah, telephone, telefax, telecarry. If you tell her, it's going to get everywhere. That's just how it is."
Yeah.
And oh God. First of all, she was hilarious.
Yeah.
She's just a wonderful person, but she was the damsel who was never in distress.
No, she took care of it. She took care of it herself. She's just like,
well, she'll
get out of here.
and we're going to get into this too, but I mean, she took charge of her own rescue from the Death Star. Like
Which
they all
I
showed
loved.
up and they're like, "We're here to rescue," and she went, "Cool, I'm in charge now." So
Yeah, she basically was like, "Cool story, tell it again."
Yeah.
Give me your blaster.
yeah. But we're gonna get into all that. Ahsoka kind of, and this is what I love about Star Wars, and in general, Ahsoka in particular, kept that strong female lead going.
Mm-hmm.
Several in this case.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, how many characters on the show, and how many of them are women? Like,
almost all of them. Like literally almost all of them.
yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Which is great. But then we continue into the rest of the Ahsoka series, and jeez, it got weird quick.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a whole episode about Ahsoka finishing her training. Whew.
You want to talk about me crying? Ooh,
I
boy.
teared up.
I cried. Straight up cried.
But we will.
I was like, I'm sad now.
We will get into that. And for now, we should probably end the episode before people have to turn it off because they've gotten bored.
They're like, oh my God, these people do not fucking shut up. You're right, we don't.
ADHD. It happens.
We're two idiots with ADHD.
Yeah. Well, we're two giant Star Wars nerds with ADHD.
That's true.
If we just honestly, I think I have like a terabyte free on this computer over here. I think you and I could fill it just talking about Star Wars.
That's true. You're
without
probably
a problem.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, but we should probably at some point end the episode.
We should.
And with that in mind, we would like to encourage everyone to visit us on our Patreon and our Instagram.
Yes.
You can also find us on Apple Podcast, on Spotify, just for the audio. Video will be available for anyone on our Patreon. Don't worry, there are subscription tiers.
Yes, there are. You'll get some cool stuff for joining. And I believe it is, patreon.com, babbling bullshit.
There you go.
And then on Instagram, it is at Babble and BS.
Because Instagram won't let us swear.
Not in the username. Whatever, it's fine.
Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, you may have noticed that there are a lot of things being bleeped.
Because they don't monetize you if you curse too much.
Yeah, sorry about that.
And we need to make money so we can get better equipment. Because if you're watching this, kind of looks like I'm in a hostage video.
Yeah.
That's probably fine. But we would like to upgrade all of our stuff at some point. So if you give us money, we can do that. We are not keeping the money for ourselves.
So
we're still very broke.
Yeah. We actually have day jobs.
Unfortunately, I do.
I know. It's very annoying.
I don't like it.
But this is kind of what we're doing with the podcast. Is this is not for us to make money to go spend on random crap. The more subscribers we get, the more money we make, the more content we'll get to make, and that will mean doing content at cons, actually being able to get merch,
and maybe being able to quit my day job.
That would be so nice.
So that I can just focus on this.
God, that'd be nice.
That'd be so great. So if you could do us a solid and give us your money so that we can upgrade all our shit.
Also, I now have on an actual recording you admitting that you'd rather spend time with me than have a day job.
Which I don't know what that says about my day job.
It says a lot about your day job, and none of it's good.
Yikes!
Yeah, but yeah, so that's kind of our promise to all of you is that we're not keeping any of the subscription money. We're rolling it back into getting better equipment and doing live stuff at cons and having guests on the show and all that fun stuff. Because to be honest, we both hate our day jobs. They do pay us, so
I mean, barely.
Less than we'd like, but
barely. They barely pay us, but yeah.
So please subscribe to the Patreon. Thank you for listening. Our next episode will be covering the middle of the Ahsoka series, and then we'll do a whole episode devoted to the finale of season 1, which was
spectacular.
Whew.
It was so good.
Good Lord.
A lot happens.
Oh my God. And they did they dive deep in some of the lore.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, yeah, which we'll get to. But on that note, I've been Will.
I've been Lilith.
And we will see you guys next time.
Bye.